and welcome back. Today I'm going to bring you along for a new recipe that came to me when I made beef stroganoff the other night. I didn't have beef broth, and so I used some of my home canned French onion soup, and it was the most amazing beef stroganoff I have ever had. So it inspired this recipe, which I'm also using my French onion soup, and minus some salt and pepper. There may not be any additional ingredients that I add except for my meat. I see my meat and my French onion soup. But we are making French onion steaks is what we're making. And we are doing it in our pressure cooker. Right now I have it on the sear setting, so it's heating up. And I have these beauties that I got. They're just little braising steaks. And I've salt and peppered them. And we're just going to stick them down and let them get a little sear brown on them. Now I have 2 packs of these, so I'll have to take these out and then do the other ones. But it's a 1-pot meal. You could just as easily do this in a slow cooker or just in a pot on the stove. I just want to use this because I'm actually going to use it as a slow cooker. I'm going to use the slow cooker setting and just let all of the flavors from my soup get into my steak. And then we're going to finish it off with just a tiny bit of cream and serve it over mashed potatoes. So it is, in my head, it is going to be fabulous. So I hope that you stick around for this. I'm going to get these seared and then I will bring you back when we are to our next step. Okay, so I have all 10 of my steak medallion little steaks in there, and they have a nice brown on them. I generously salt and peppered both sides. You want to make sure that your meat has good flavor. Okay, so I will leave a link to my soup in the iCard, but if you didn't make the soup, you could always use a canned version. I know exactly what's in my soup. There's no preservatives, there's no nothing. It's beef broth. It actually has beef drippings from where I made roast, and a bunch of onions and garlic and bay, and it is fabulous. Like, it is fabulous. So I'm going to put a quart's worth in here because I'm not making a soup. I am just giving it a nice broth to cook, to slow cook in. And then I'm probably going to thicken it up after all the meat is done into a loose gravy because, like I said earlier, I'm serving it over mashed potatoes. And then we're probably going to have some roasted corn and carrots on the side is what I'm thinking, and maybe some crusty bread because who doesn't love crusty bread? Now, I have a secret ingredient that I'm going to add to this. I usually always have a secret ingredient. I want mushrooms. I think mushrooms would go beautifully in this, but it is for my whole family, and my husband hates mushrooms, but he loves the flavor of mushrooms. So I have here mushroom powder. It is homemade. I dehydrated the mushrooms and then put them in my blender and made a mushroom powder. Now, a little bit goes a long way because this was literally, it was at least 2 pounds, I think, of mushrooms condensed down to that. So that is about a teaspoon. I don't want to overload it, but I want that mushroom flavor in this dish. So if I need more later, because I'll test it after the meat's done. If I need more mushroom flavor, I'll put more in as I'm making the gravy, but that should be enough, because like I said, a little goes a long way. And that is my secret ingredient to this. It would be delicious if you put fresh mushrooms in it, or canned mushrooms. I don't have that, so this is how I'm doing it. So I'm going to put this on, excuse me, I'm going to put this on a slow roast. Let's see, for 4 hours, and we're just going to let this slow cook for 4 hours, and then we'll check the tenderness of our meat, which I'm not concerned with. It's going to be tender, and I'll bring you back when we make the gravy, taste test, and serve it over some potatoes. Okay, so it is gone for, I stopped it at 3 hours because my husband is on his way home and it is cold, there is a snowstorm, and he is hungry. So I'm just going to take out the, well, that was a fail. I'm going to take out the meat so that we can make our gravy. Everything else is already done and waiting, staying warm for him to get home. It smells so good. I am really failing at this. My goodness. Da, 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 da. Don't you just love fishing the meat out? Okay. So, I have my slurry ready. And it is just flour and cream. And it's pretty thick. I'm just going to pour it in. And then whisk it. And hopefully I have enough. I'm actually going to turn it on the sear again just to keep it warm, to help it thicken up. Because I'm trying to make this a one-pot meal. I really don't want to dirty up any more dishes than I have to. Get the rest of that down in there. Now I'm just going to let this thicken. And I want it loose, but not too loose. Like, I want it to be a gravy. So if we can't get it thickened with what I have, I'll add a little more. So when I bring you back, we will be plating up this delicious meal. Alright, here is my plate, and it is divine. I will show you. It is fork, fingertip tender, and it does not need any seasoning at all. At all. It is perfect with just the French onion soup, salt and pepper your meat, and a little bit of mushroom powder. Delicious. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.